table level. How we can write the table level all the constraints? I will explain. Like column level means within the same column we can create the constraint details. So table level means at the end of all the columns we have to give the constraints. So table level and column level, the properties will be same. So primary key accepts only unique values. It doesn't allow the duplicate and null values. But unique key accepts unique values as well as null values, and duplicate it doesn't accept. Not null means value is mandatory for not null constraint column. So if any column we are applying not null constraint, value is mandatory. Check constraint means we can apply the condition. If condition will be satisfied, then only it will accept the record. We are applying the, for example, age column, we are applying the condition age greater than 18 and less than 40. So between 18 and 40 only it will accept. Less than 18 it won't accept. More than 40 also it won't accept. Default. If I'm ignoring the value inserted into the specific column, it will take the value as a default. We are applying default constraint on constraint on any column. We are ignoring the value inserted into the specific column. It will take the value as a default. Okay. So foreign key constraint. It always references to the parent table. If I want to insert any value into the foreign key column, the value should be present in the referenced parent table. Then only it will accept. So using foreign key, we can maintain the parent and child relations. So it's always references to the parent table, primary or unique key column. So foreign key we are always creating on the child table. So the child table foreign key value references to the parent table, primary or unique key column. If we are trying to insert any value into the foreign key column, that value should be present in the referenced parent table, primary or unique key column. Then only it will accept. Okay. So I will explain the all the constraints with the column level. Then I will create the table level. So I'm drop table name. Okay. So okay. So I will create the tables. First table is department table. Create table name. So this department table. So we have department values like department number column. So number of two. So here I am creating the primary key constraint name pk department number. So whenever we are dropping the table corresponding constraints also automatically drops. So whenever we are dropping the table corresponding whatever the we have constraints are there, those constraints also dropped automatically. So no need to drop separately the constraint details. Whenever we are dropping the table, all the constraints will be dropped. Okay, create table name. So create table name, department number of two, constraint name, constraint name, pk department number, primary key, constraint type. Okay, 1 minute, bro. Okay, constraint name, constraint type, department name, varchar often. Here open bracket at the end of the all the columns we have to write the closed bracket. Okay. So this is the department table. So every department having multiple employees. I will create the employee table. Create table name employee number of four. So here I am creating the primary key. Constraint name pk employee number. Primary key. Employee name varchar 2 of 10. So this employee name column I am using not null constraint. So every employee number should be employee name. Constraint name not null. Next is salary, a number of 6. So this salary column I am using default constraint. If any employee we are ignoring the salary, it will take the default as a 25,000. Next passport. So passport column I am using check unique key constraint. So passport column I am applying the unique constraint. Every employee passport number should be unique. So if any employee there is no passport also it will accept null value it will accept. Unique constraint it accepts the unique values as well as null values. Constraint name. Next job. Varchar 2 of 10. So here I am applying check constraint. Every employee job should be clerk or salesman, then only it will accept. Constraint name ck job. Check. So here we have to write the condition. Job in clerk comma salesman. So employee job clerk or salesman, then only it will accept. Next department number of 2. So we are maintaining the relation with department table. So every employee department number should be in the department table. Okay, so I'm going with foreign key. I'm maintaining the parent and child relations. Constraint name FK department number. So foreign key we are calling as a referential key. It always references to the parent table. References parent table, department table. Department table is the parent table. So we are referencing with department number column. So here open bracket. At the end of all the columns, we have to write the close bracket. Constraint name FKK department number references department table department number. So here open bracket. At the end of all the columns, we have to write the close bracket. Okay. So this is the column level constraint. Within the same column, we are creating the constraint. Okay. So here employee number column, we are applying the primary key. Every employee number will be unique. Without employee number, it won't accept. Okay. Duplicate also it won't accept. It accepts only unique values. Null values it won't accept, and duplicate also it won't accept. Employee name column I am applying not null constraint. Value is mandatory for employee name. For every employee number, name should be mandatory. Suppose if any employee number we are not giving any name, it won't accept. Not null means value is mandatory. Okay. Salary column I am applying the default 25,000. If any employee I'm ignoring the salary, it will take the default as a 25,000. If I'm giving the salary, the given salary it will take. So whenever we are ignoring, it will take the default as a 25,000. Passport column. Passport column we are using unique key constraint. Every employee passport number should be unique. So if any employee there is no passport also, it will accept the null also. Passport is not a mandatory. So employee there is no passport, accept the null also. Employee having passport, the passport number should be unique to the other employees. Job column I am using check constraint. Every employee job should be in the clerk or salesman. So other than clerk or salesman, if any employee we are inserting with manager job, it won't accept. Only the employee job should be clerk or salesman, then only it will accept. In department number column, we are mentioning the foreign key. Foreign key means we are maintaining the parent and child relations with parent relations with the department table. Every employee department number should be present in the department table. Okay, without department number also it will accept. If any employee department is not allocated, those scenario it will accept the null also. So other than department number, if any employee having department number, the department number should be present in the reference parent table department number column. So department table, department number column, we have department numbers. We have 3 departments are there, 10, 20, 30 departments. All the employees in the employee table will be in the 10, 20, 30 departments. Then only it will accept. Other than this, any other department we are trying to insert, it won't accept. Okay, next, this is the column level constraint. Within the same column, we are creating the constraint details. Table level means at the end of all the columns we have to mention the constraint details. So I will create the table level constraints for these two tables. I will create table name, department one table. Okay, department number, where get work done. At the end of these two columns, we have to create the constraint details. Constraint name pk11 తీసుకుంటున్నాను. Okay, pk11 department number, primary key. So here we have to mention so within the same column means no need to mention the constraint the column name. So at the end of all the columns we are creating the constraint. So we have to mention the constraint name, column name. Which column we are creating this constraint? Department number column. So this department number column I am creating the primary key. Constraint name, primary key of department number. So department number column we are creating the primary key. So this is the open bracket. At the end of all the columns we have to write the closure bracket. Okay, next employee table. Create table name. Table name is the employee table. Employee double one. So I am creating the columns. So column name is employee number of 4. Employee name varchar 2 of 10. Yeah, here here you need to remember two things like not null and default. These two constraints we can create only column level. Table level is not possible. Okay, here not null plus default. These two constraints we can create only column level. Table level is not possible. So here I will create the constraint not null constraint for only column level. So if you are trying to create the table level, it will throw an error. Constraint name, constraint type. Okay.
Hi Guru, screen is not able to visible, right?
Bro, not able to visible. Everyone is not visible. I am able to see.
Yeah, I can also see.
Bro, maybe network issue, you can check, bro.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, default also we can create only column level only. Table level is not possible. Okay, next వచ్చేసరికి passport care of 10. Job varchar 2 of 10. Department number of 2. At the end of all the columns we have to create the constraints. Okay, so here I am creating the constraints. Okay, so this employee number column I need to create the primary key. Okay, constraint name pk11 employee number, primary key of. So we have to mention the which column we are creating this primary key. So I am creating the employee number column, employee number, comma. So next to passport column I need to create the unique constraint. Constraint name uk11 passport unique key of passport. Next to job column we have to create the check constraint. Constraint name ck11 job check. So we have to write the condition check job in clerk comma salesman. Okay. Next to department number column we have to create the foreign key. FK11 department number. So here we have to mention the which column we have to create the foreign key. So we no need to use directly references. So we have to mention the column name also. So in column level, directly we can go with references. But here we have to mention the column name, which column we have to create the foreign key. So that is the reason we have to mention the foreign key of column we have to mention. Foreign key of different department number. So next will be same references, 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 department one table, department number column. So here open bracket at the end of all the columns we have to write the closed bracket. Okay. So constant name, foreign key of department number, references, department one department number column. So here we have to mention the foreign key of column name. Which column we have to create the foreign key, we have to mention foreign key of column name. Then remaining everything will be same. References, department one department number column. Okay, table is created. This is the table level constraint. Okay, this is the column level. Which is the same column we are creating. That is the column level. At the end of all the columns we are creating the constraint. Those we can called as a table level. Suppose if I want to see the whatever the constraints in the this table, like we are closing today. Next I need to see the what are the constraints in the employee one table. Okay, so we have one data dictionary is there. So all the constraints details will be stored by the one data dictionary. The data dictionary is user underscore constraints. User underscore constraints is the one of the data dictionary. It will store the all the constraint details. All the tables details will be storing by the user underscore tables. So same way like all the constraint details. So database having multiple tables having every table having multiple constraints. So all the tables constraint details will be storing by the one of the table kind of thing, one of the table that is the user underscore constraints. So I am describing set line size 150, page size 150 చేస్తాను. Describe user underscore. So it will maintain, it will stores the all the constraint details. It will stores the user underscore constraints is the data dictionary. So this data dictionary stores the all the constraint details. Okay. User underscore constraints అనేది ఒక data dictionary. So data dictionary we are calling as a data dictionary. It is the dictionary for all the constraints. Okay, all the tables constraint details will be stored by the user underscore constraints. This is kind of table. It is not a table. It is same as table. దీన్ని వ్యూ అంటారు. వ్యూ అనేది కాన్సెప్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చింది, అది వచ్చినప్పుడు మీకు అర్థమైంది. It is same as table. So it will maintain the all the tables constraint details. In database, in the database, all the table constraint will be stored by the user underscore constraint. Okay. So in this user underscore constraints table, they having some details. The columns are there. So I want to see the constraint name, table name from user underscore constraint, where table name equal. So I want to see the employee table constraint details. Employee one table constraint details. Constraint spelling constraint. ఏమి అండి. So these are all the constraints for employee one table. Okay, employee table constraints కావాలి. These are all the employee table constraint details. Okay. So this user underscore constraints is the one of the data dictionary. So it is kind of table. It will maintain the all the table details. I'm selecting only employee one table constraints only. If I am not using where condition, so we are getting the all the tables, all the constraint details. Okay. So here I am filtering only employee one table constraints only. Okay. Suppose I want to display the department table constraint details. Okay. Suppose department one table. Okay. So allow one constraint details మనం చెక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. So we can drop the existing constraint also. For example, we have employee table CK job constraint is there. We can drop it. Suppose if I want to drop the existing constraint details, so we can go with this is the syntax: alter table name. Table name is employee. Okay, drop constraint name CK job. So I am dropping the check constraint from the employee table. So it is altered. Now I am checking the constraint details in the employee table. There is no check constraint. Okay, check constraint we dropped. So and also we can add the constraints from the existing table. So I want to add the new constraint to the. I need to add the new constraint to the like we don't have any check constraint in the employee table. I want to add the check constraint in the job field. We can add it. So if I want to add the constraint to the existing table, this is the syntax: alter table name, add constraint name, CK job check job in clerk comma salesman. So I'm adding the new constraint to the existing column. So table is altered. Now I'm checking. Before there is no check constraint. Now we have CK job check constraint we have. Okay, like that we can add the new constraint to the existing table, and also we can remove the existing constraint from the table. So not only this one, like foreign key I can drop and I will add. Alter table name, employee, drop constraint name FKK. So I'm dropping the foreign key. So now I am checking there is no foreign key here. So because before we have FKK department number is there, I'm dropping here. So again we have to add. So with the help of alter table name, add constraint name FKK department number. So we have to mention the which column we have to create the foreign key of. So like if I want to add the constraint, so we have to write the same as table level. Table level how we whatever the syntax we have in the table level, same syntax here also we have to mention. Foreign key of column name, department number column, references, department number column. So we are adding the foreign key to the existing table, existing employee table. So now I am checking. Okay. Now we are adding the new constraint. So like that we can add the new constraint to the existing table and also remove the constraint from the existing table.
Hello, Guru.
Yeah.
So I have one clarification. Once we drop a constraint, whether it is effect to the column or how it is?
Effective means like suppose if I am dropping the foreign key. Okay, next I am inserting some records. So inserting means then it won't maintain the relation even without department number also. Like we have department 10, 20, 30 is there. So if we are mentioning the foreign key in employee table, we have to employees within the 10, 20, 30 departments. So if I am removing the foreign key, it accepts the 40 departments also. It accepts the department employee details because there is no relation with the department table. So any department it accepts the records. Okay.
Thank you.
So existing data there is no effect. So while inserting new records, it won't maintain the relation in case of foreign key. In case of unique key, if I am removing the unique key, so it accepts the duplicate also. So next records onwards.
Okay.
Existing records it won't affect them. So while inserting new records, it won't maintain the it won't check the constraint. It won't check on.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
అన్న ఇప్పుడు హలో అన్న ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రికార్డ్స్ ని ఏమైనా మాడిఫై చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాము అప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ దానికి అప్పుడు జస్ట్ అప్డేట్ చేస్తాం అంతేనా అప్పుడు
కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ అనేది చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. నువ్వు అప్డేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు కానీ కన్స్ట్రైంట్ చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నీకు ఏజ్ కాలంలో 18 to 40 ఇచ్చాం ఏజ్. నేను అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను 50 years అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను. అప్డేట్ అవ్వదు ఎందుకంటే దాంట్లో చెక్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్ ఉంది కాబట్టి. సో చెక్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్ రిమూవ్ చేసాం అనుకో అప్పుడు నీకు అప్డేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఎంత కావాలి అంత ఎలా కావాలి అలాగా.
ఓకే ఓకే అన్న.
సో ఇది నెక్స్ట్ వచ్చరికి, so we no need to mention the constraint name. So here all the scenarios we are maintaining our own name, constraint name. Okay, so here we are mention our own name, constraint name. So name is not a mandatory, but real time scenario we are maintaining the naming convention, but actually name is not a mandatory. Even if you are not mention any name also, database itself it will take own name. For suppose I am creating one table. MP123 తీసుకుంటాను. So here I am not mentioning constraint, constraint name, constraint type. So directly I was mentioning the constraint type, primary key. So I am not mentioning the name. Okay. Check job in. So here I'm not mention any name for constraint. So directly I was mention the constraint type, primary key, not null, check. So even if you are not mentioned any name also, database itself it will take one name. So name is not a mandatory. Even if you are not mentioned any name also, database itself it will take one name. For suppose I am checking here the constraint details. So these are the constraint details. So even if you are not mentioned name also, database it will take one name. Okay. So name అనేది mandatory ఏం కాదు, but in naming convention we are following in real time scenario. For every constraint we are maintaining the naming convention, but actually name is not a mandatory. Even if you are not mentioned any name also, database itself it will take one name. ఈ constraint details. So next వచ్చరికి next we can create only one primary key for one table. Table having only one primary key. If I am trying to create more than one primary key for single table, it won't accept. Okay. So in case of unique key not null, check, those constraints we can create multiple unique keys, multiple check constraints we can create the single table. But only we have only one primary key for one table. For suppose now I am trying to create the primary key. Two, three, four. So name ఇవ్వట్లేదు. So if you are not mentioned any name for primary key, database itself it will take one name. Oh shit, కామా మర్చిపోయాను, ఇక్కడ కామా ఇస్తున్నాను. Close bracket. చూడండి, table can have only one primary key. Table we can create only one primary key. If I am trying to create more than one primary key, it won't accept. So here, so I am trying to give primary key for the employee number column and job column. So it won't accept. So if I have any requirement to create more than one primary key, so first we have to create the one column, we have to create the primary key. Remaining columns we have to create the not null plus unique key. So we have to create the combination of not null plus unique key is the primary, same as primary key, because not null constraint it won't accept the null values, but unique key constraint accepts only unique key values, and null values also it will accept, but not null we are applying both the constraints we are applying not null plus unique key. So not null, it won't accept the null value. Unique constant, it won't accept the duplicate values. It works same as primary key. So if I have any requirement to create multiple primary keys in the single table, it won't accept them. So only one primary key for one table. One column we have to create the primary key. Remaining columns we have to create the not null plus unique key. It will be working same as primary key. So here employee number I will keep the same primary key, but job column I will create the not null plus unique key. One create table name. Varchar 2 of 10. So not null constraint we can create only column level. So here I am creating not null plus not null constraint for column level. In table level, in job column, I will create the not null plus unique key. Both I will create. Column level, we are creating not null constraint. And table level, I will create the unique key constraint. Unique key of job. So here open bracket. So no need to mention the constraint name. Directly constraint type. Constraint type is unique key of job column. Job column we are creating. Here open bracket, at the end of all the columns we are giving the closing bracket. ఓకే, చెక్ చేసామంటే ఈ కాలంకి జాబ్ కాలంకి యూనిక్ కి నాట్ నల్ రెండు కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ ఉంటాయి. రెండు కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ టు క్రియేట్ మల్టిపుల్ primary keys, so in a single table it won't accept. One column we have to create the primary key, remaining columns we have to create the not null plus unique key. It will be working same as primary key. So primary key means it accepts only unique values, and null values and duplicate values it won't accept. So ఇది ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి. నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ది. సో లైక్ దట్ వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్ ది సింగిల్ కాలం మల్టిపుల్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ వీ కెన్ క్రియేట్. సో ఇలాగ మనం మల్టిపుల్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్స్ ఒకే కాలం క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. సో నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ది ఆన్ డిలీట్ క్యాస్కేడ్, ఆన్ డిలీట్ సెట్ నల్ ఆప్షన్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. ఓకే.
So can you please repeat the last topic?
Okay. So we cannot create single table, we cannot create multiple primary keys. So here employee number I am trying to give the primary key, and job column also I am trying to give the primary key. So single table, two primary keys I am trying to create. So it won't accept. Table can have only one primary key. So more than one primary key we cannot accept them. So in case of any requirement to create more than one primary key in this single table, so one column we have to go with primary key. Remaining columns we have to go with not null plus unique key. Not null means accepts the value. Value is mandatory. Unique key means it accepts the duplicate. It won't accept the duplicate. Unique key plus unique constant accepts the unique key values, and not null constant it won't accept the null values. So it working same as primary key. The function of not null plus unique key same as primary key. It working same as primary key. So one column we have to go with primary key. Remaining primary key columns we have to go with not null plus unique key.
Okay, at the end, you must write a unique table constant, right? Unique job.
Sorry, unique key.
Sorry, at the end of this, you can write table constant.
This is a table level constraint. Okay, at the end of the columns we are creating. Okay, because not null we cannot create the table level, right? So if suppose unique key plus check constraint we are able to create the job column, we can go with the table level both. But not null we can create only column level. Table level is not possible. That is the reason. So not null constraint I was creating in the column level, and unique key constraint I was creating in the table level.
Okay. Okay.
So you can practice this. Next class I will complete the constraints concept. Next class I will explain the on delete cascade, on delete set null options.
Bro, tomorrow maybe you are going to start a PLSQL course, right? This course includes PLSQL or how it is? Bro?
After complete of this course, then PLSQL I will start. After completion of SQL.
Okay. So tomorrow you will going to start one new
No,
batch,
new
right?
batch. That is new batch.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank you.